It's Talk of Iowa from IPR News. I'm Charity Nebbe. Today, the return of one of our favorite Talk of Iowa holiday traditions. Music is a powerful part of the holiday season, and certain songs evoke certain memories or emotions. Pianist, composer, and Steinway artist Dan Knight is here today. He is sitting at the Steinway piano in our Studio One at IPR in Cedar Falls. Hello, Dan.
Hey, Charity. How are you?
I am great. It is so wonderful to be here with you and to be sitting in this beautiful studio with this beautiful piano. And we're going to have so much fun this hour. The way this works is if you share a story that includes a holiday song, Dan will play your song. So it's not just a request show. You are paying for that song with your story. You can call us at 866-780-9100. You can send email to talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org, 866-780-9100, or Talk of Iowa at iowapublicradio.org. Dan Knight will also be performing at the Englert Theater in Iowa City on January 20th.
Oh, it's actually January 19th.
January 19th. Sorry about that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Thank you for that correction. I'm going to get my calendar straight.
January 9th. Yeah, it's a Friday night. Can you believe it?
That'll be great. And Dan, I was thinking about, people, they tell us stories, and I think about memories that I have that relate to certain holiday songs. But I was also thinking about how, for example, every time I smell a peony, I think about my grandma Nebbe.
Yeah.
But there are holiday songs that are like that too,
Yes,
where
they are.
every time I hear a certain song, I think of a certain person. And I even have actually several of those songs with you, Dan, because we've made so many memories together over the years.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget when I discovered that we both agree on the perfect Christmas album, which is Ella Fitzgerald.
Yes. Yeah. What could not be perfect?
Absolutely. And so every time I hear "What Do You Do in New Year's," I think of you, Dan. Should we start off with that?
I'm listening to Ella singing in my head right now.
Absolutely.
Great piano.
It is. It's a beautiful piano, and of course, a beautiful artist sitting at the piano. That's from Ella Fitzgerald.
You know what I think
Wishes
of
you a swinging Christmas.
Well, see, you know what I think of when I hear Ella? It's like I knew a really close friend of mine, Bob Cranshaw, who played with Ella for years and years and years, and Billy Taylor did too. So she never ever went on stage without worrying about whether or not people would like what she did.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's so hard to imagine.
Yeah. So God bless her. She was amazing.
Let's go to the phones already. We've got Joyce on the line in Iowa City. 866-780-9100 is the number to call. Hi, Joyce.
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hey, Joyce Carmen. How are
Hello,
you this
Dan.
morning,
Hello,
dear girl?
Dan, my dear Dan. Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine, and I'm remembering something I know you will remember. Can I tell it now?
Yeah,
Sure,
please
go
do.
ahead.
Okay. One evening, remember, Dan, many years, over 30 years ago, we were in a restaurant downtown, David and I, and you were playing, and Dan leaned over closer to the piano bench, and he said to you, "Hey, Dan, do you think it would be possible for you to mix a little bit of the Iowa fight song into a bit of a Bach piece?" And I could tell Dan was just a bit surprised. He, knowing David, would not seem to be shocked at that request, but he continued to play. He just kept playing. And I could see he was thinking and probably composing as he played. And yes, then we heard it. A very creative creatively composed combination of the Iowa fight song within a Bach composition. I think that's a miracle. I do think that's a miracle. And I send you love, Dan, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you here.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, Joyce,
Yeah,
thank
really.
you. Yeah, thanks for sharing that memory. That's kind of a tall order. I was up at, I went to Tuba Christmas at the University of Iowa last week, and they incorporated the fight song into a Christmas carol.
Oh, we can do that. Well, we can do that. Let's do that. So we'll do the fight song in honor of David Baldus, who was one of the greatest people in the whole world, one of the brave, 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 sweet men, and Joyce Carmen, who is just beyond category herself. So this is Joy to the World, Iowa Fight Song.
Lovely. You can join the conversation, share one of your stories, and incorporate a holiday song into that story, and Dan will play your song for you, if he knows it, and he knows a lot of songs. We have a wonderful story from Connie in Grinnell, Dan. She says, my grandmother was an excellent pianist. On Christmas Day, her 5 children and all of their children would go to her house for a huge potluck meal, gift exchange, and lots of talking and playing. My favorite part of the day is when she would sit at the piano and everyone would gather around her and sing holiday songs. There were 27 of us.
Amazing.
Now, this could be a challenge. She says, my favorite song as a kid was 32 Feet, 8 Little Tails, written by John Redmond. This was one of the songs on Gene Autry's Christmas album. We love to name all of Santa's reindeer. Do you know that one?
I don't know it, but you know what? My parents had that album.
Oh, yeah?
We for sure had that album. So.
Well, then we should do a different Gene Autry. We should do Rudolph.
Well, that one we can do.
All right. Lovely. 866-780-9100 is the number for you to call with your story or email talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. Here's one from Joan. She says, thanks from a fellow Atumwan. So,
Yay.
and
Yay.
she says, my mom listened to local radio and would whistle along with all the songs. Whenever I hear someone whistle a tune, I remember her. Her favorite was Silver Bells by Doris Day. I love
how
that.
Cool.
Just lovely. And we are going to have to take a break here in just a moment. You are welcome, though, to join the conversation. You share a story that relates to a holiday song in some way, and Dan will play that song for you if he knows it. I am here today with pianist and composer Dan Knight. The number to call is 866-780-9100, 866-780-9100, or send email to talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. I want to mention again that Dan Knight will be performing at the Englert Theater in Iowa City on January 19th. And Dan, why don't you just play us out to the break? Maybe some more Silver Bells.
Oh, that sounds...
It's Talk of Iowa from IPR News. I'm Charity Nebbe. Today we are celebrating, I'm just going to say my favorite holiday tradition on Talk of Iowa. I keep saying
too.
one of our favorites,
Mine
but come
too.
on, let's be real. Pianist, composer, and Steinway artist Dan Knight is here with me, and we are in a studio together at our Cedar Falls studios for IPR, sitting at a Steinway piano and making beautiful music, talking about holiday memories. Dan Knight will be performing at the Englert Theater in Iowa City on January 19th, but this hour, if you would like Dan to play a song for you, you need to pay with a story.
Yes.
You call and you share a story, and includes, it is adjacent to, it touches on a holiday song, and if Dan knows that song, he will play it for you. So give us a call, 866-780-9100, or send email to talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. And here's one from Anne. She says, Winter Wonderland is a song that always brings memories of when I sang with the Nightingales at Iowa Methodist School of Nursing. I sang second alto, which was the best part in the arrangement.
Yes.
Many people remember the late Dr. Wintermeyer, our director, but many people don't know. He taught music for 10 years before medical school, and we were blessed that he shared his talent with us. That's such a great story.
I've been playing this song a lot lately, and
Yeah?
I love the Ella Fitzgerald tempo, so that's what I'm...
Wonderful. Let's go to the phones. Luann is on the line in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Luann.
Hi.
Hi, what's your story?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Well, when I would pick my granddaughter up from school, and in elementary school, they had out. All I want for Christmas is a hippopotamus, and we just fell in love with it. And when it would come on, we would turn it up real loud and sing that song all the way home.
Oh, what a fun memory. That's fantastic. Do you ever do it now? Do you still roll that one out?
Yeah, she was down to make cookies this weekend, and we sang it while we were making cookies.
Oh,
I got to tell you, I used to, back in North Carolina.
A friend of mine got me a ornament of the hippo.
Oh, how dear.
That played it, too.
Oh, how cool. How cool.
When I was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, I was a pianist for the Winston-Salem Pops Chorale. So when we did their Christmas concert, we actually had a lady who dressed in a hippopotamus costume. so if you can, so that's what I think of when I think
nice. That is fantastic. Luann, thank you so much for your call. And now we have two people who want to hear the same song. So we'll get two stories.
Sweet.
And then we'll play the song. And let's start with Micah in Des Moines. Hi, Micah.
Hi. I'm calling. Do you want me to say the song? Or are you gonna...
Go ahead and tell us the story.
Okay. So in my high school choir, we would close out every single holiday concert every year with the song Silent Night. And at the end, we would have the audience, so like all of our friends and families, sing a verse of Silent Night, and we would sing the song. As the choir, we would sing Peace, Peace over the top of it.
Oh, nice.
And every time I hear Silent Night, I just think of being in that room with all my community, and feels like home.
Dear.
Oh, that is just lovely. And don't play yet, Dan.
Oh,
thank you, Micah. This is, like I said,
you know me.
One
Yes.
for the price of two here.
Yes,
so
my brain is going.
Jeremy is on the line next in Solon. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, how you doing this morning?
Good. And I know you want to hear Silent Night too, but please tell us your story.
Yeah, I do. Thank you. Well, I was deployed overseas with a bunch of guys about 5 years ago. Me and the guys got together and we were trying to pick a Christmas song to sing because I was learning how to play the harmonica. And one of the guys that had been in music and had a really good background with it introduced me to Silent Night and how to play it. And we ended up performing that for my squadron while we were there, and ended up doing a really good job at it. Had a lot of fun, and just every time I hear that song, I can't help but to think of all the guys that I had served with over there when we got together and sing. And in fact, I still occasionally try to break the harmonica out and play it. So much fun.
Oh, Jeremy, that's wonderful. And of course, it makes me think of the Christmas Eve truce and the troops singing Silent Night to each other in both German and English as well.
We're glad you made it home, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. beautiful. We have an email here, and I should mention the phone number again, 866-780-9100. And we have an email here from good friends of yours, Dan, from Marcia and Scott in Cedar Rapids.
Oh, dear.
and Marcia says, we're listening in Cedar Rapids. We're so happy to have Dan and Julie back in Iowa. And she said, my memory is tied directly to Dan. I'd like to request We Need a Little Christmas. I had the honor of playing Mame on stage, and while Dan and Julie weren't able to come to Iowa at the time to see the show, Dan sent me an incredibly inspiring message that added even more energy to my performance. Aww. Now I think of him anytime I hear it. We've performed together on stage, but we've never gotten to do this number together, so if he plays it there, I'll sing along from my living room here in Cedar Rapids.
Oh, dear. Oh, these people are so dear. Yeah, so here we go.
Is wonderful. And I have a completely different version going through my head because the Muppets sing that on my favorite Christmas special, Muppet Family Christmas.
Yes.
So I have yeah, they're very excited about Christmas.
See, I can hear Marcia singing in my head.
Yours might have been better.
She totally is Auntie-Mame. She just
That's awesome.
She lives life to the broadest and the fullest, and I love her. So she's going to be on our program on the 19th.
Wonderful. And Julie sent this email. She says, my dad used to sing Oh Holy Night to my sister and I when we were little, and we always loved it because his voice would crack on the high notes and we would laugh so hard. He passed away about 5 years ago. We still miss him and think about him a lot on the holidays, especially because his birthday is the 18th of December.
So my friends in high school used to call me Oh Holy Dan Night, just because of this song.
That is so beautiful. And That song gets another mention in this message from Angie, who is one of your nieces.
Yes.
And she says, when I was a child, I was sure Uncle Dan was Santa Claus. That would be an easy mistake to make. He would come and stay with us at Christmas, and we had such a merry time. The song that instantly brings me back to those wonderful memories is the Charlie Brown Christmas theme. Every time I hear the song, I think of the many smiles and silly dance moves and Uncle Dan's magic on the piano. She also mentioned this one before you play that one, Dan. She also loves Oh Holy Night, and she wants to mention that her father passed away from COVID in November of 2020, and Oh Holy Night was his favorite song. So every time she hears that, she's instantly reminded of Dad and his love of Christmas.
Oh,
That's
dear.
lovely. That's one of your favorites to play, isn't it?
I love it.
I'm sure it takes you back to the time when your nieces and nephews were little too.
It does, and you know, I play at Jordan Creek Von Mar these days, so I'm the Saturday guy especially, and it's just brilliant to see little kids just move. You know, so the little strollers are just dancing all over the place.
Still when you hear it.
And the thing that's the people who are rocking out are the parents. Oh my God, it's just great. So it's transcendent of time and generations.
Wonderful. All right, this one's tricky, and I feel like we've talked about this in the past. Patricia from New Hampton says, my mother's parents were Sicilian immigrants. Lou Monte had an Italian band in New Jersey, and one of his songs was Dominic the Christmas Donkey. And she says, you are amazing if you know it. Do you know it? Doubted you. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's that same Pops group, that Winston-Salem people. They had another person dressed as a donkey, so we did Dominic the Donkey and the Hippo song. It was madness.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's squeeze in one more, and you can play us out to the break. Kathy says, I fondly remember caroling with friends from Ebel Music, and they would invite a group of friends to carol with them at Chatham Oaks. We'd walk through the hallways and sing for the residents and end up in the cafeteria sharing cookies together. There was a special resident who always loved to get up and sing with us when we sang We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
Oh, how cool.
It's Talk of Iowa from IPR News. I'm Charity Nebbe. With me today, pianist, composer, Steinway artist Dan Knight. We are celebrating our favorite holiday tradition. You call us, tell us a story that involves a holiday song, and we will play that song for you, if Dan knows it. And so far, he's not been stumped, although I could get you with the next one. 866-780-9100 is the number to call. You can also send your story by email, talkofiowa@iowapublicradio.org. And Luann is on the line in Belmont with what could be the stumper. Hello, Luann.
Hi, Mr. Dan Knight. Have you heard the song White Wine in the Sun? It's by Tim Minchin.
It's not ringing a lot of bells here, but we'd love to hear your story,
Santa
Luann.
Claus says it's not ringing a bell right now.
The experience of meeting new babies for the first time at your Christmas.
I shall learn it, I promise you.
And not looking for anything big for Christmas because socks and chocolates will be enough.
Oh, nice.
The reason that I heard it just this year was because my cousins and I have always gotten together at Thanksgiving for Christmas. Way back when we were little cousins, we didn't have grandparents anymore. And now we're the age that our grandparents would have been at that time.
Wow.
And looking back helps me look into the future, that I hope that those little cousins who found out this year for the first time that they even had cousins
Oh, yeah.
will be
pretty special.
repeated. And that as now in the position of the grandparent age, that we can help those little ones know those traditions and know their family.
Oh, Luann, that is White Wine in the Sun. We can't. We'll look for it. We can't play that one, Luann. But what could we play for those little
So what I would like to
cousins?
do is something in this spirit because I remember going to my Aunt Donna's house every year at Christmas time, and it was especially important to us after my mother passed away. My mom died when I was 16, so it wasn't so bad for me. I had 16 years with my mother, but my poor little sister was 12 when my mom died. So family became really important to us, especially this family. So we would go to the Smithards every year. That was my mother's maiden name. And Aunt Donna would do her best to do everything she could do to include us all in this beautiful, festive Christmas Eve. So she made this feast of stews and breads. And I remember especially my cousin Laura. Laura loved Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella. So we would always make sure that we sang the song. And this little kid, she was just absolutely gorgeous and totally, completely brilliant. She ended up being a roll screen scholar at Pella and was a National Honor Merit Society. She's just off the wall, just like crazy, nuts, wonderful. So I'm going to play this in memory of my Aunt Donna and all the Smithard family and all the folks who are not here. And especially for my cousin Laura.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Vicki is on the line next in Waterloo. Hi, Vicki.
Hi.
Hi, what's your story?
Well, my story is I would like to talk about a music teacher I had in junior high. Her name was Helen Saxton. I'm in my 60s, so this was a very long time ago. But Helen would encourage people no matter where they were. I was in junior high chorus. I cannot keep a tune to save my life. I'm a horrible singer, but she allowed me in chorus. So one year she took a group of us to Hancher Auditorium to hear Handel's Messiah. And that developed my love of classical music, which I continue to support today. So I was very impressed with Hallelujah Chorus from Handel's Messiah.
Wow.
Wonderful. And bless those music teachers that work with the very talented students and those of us who were not. I want to read this email. We've already played Oh Holy Night, but I want to read this email and then we'll get to our next story. Rob says, when I was young, we always went to midnight mass at St. Patrick in Messina, Iowa. My mother, Donna Casey, would play the organ and Marian Amdor would sing, just the two of them. Oh Holy Night would be played during the meditation between communion and the dismissal. It was always beautiful. I'm not an especially religious person, and no one would ever accuse me of being sentimental, but this song always makes me emotional. I love that. And then, how about this one? Teresa says, my parents are retired music teachers, and so my family has many musical memories of Christmas. Caroling and church services were a huge part of our family gatherings for many years. Although their large extended family has not been able to gather since 2018, their 5 children, 11 grandchildren, and 13 great-grandchildren continue to share Christmas songs with their families and communities. And one of our favorites is the carol, Still, Still, Still.
Oh, just break my heart.
Beautiful. Maureen is up next in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Maureen.
Hi, Charity.
Hi, what's your story?
Well, I have a really cute little story from when my children were little. I'm a single mom of 4 little kids, very active, and my third son, Matthew, had a really hard time focusing, and when we got in the car to go somewhere, it just took him forever to get his seatbelt on. So I made up this little game of where I was going to sing up on the housetop, and it was his goal to get his seatbelt buckled before I said click, click, click.
Oh, that's awesome. You're brilliant.
I did it for years. I did it for like 2 or 3 years, and he would get really upset if I was getting too close to the click and it wasn't done yet. Then I'd go slow until he'd had it done so that he could win.
Oh.
So it's a cute memory for me.
I love that. And was that year round or just a holiday song? I mean, is this a song that is burned into your brain?
Round.
Year round.
It was year round, yes.
I love that.
That's my kind of kid.
I got my seatbelt on. Oh, that's just awesome.
I'm going to think of that forever now every time I play
love
that.
Love that so much. All right, this one's wonderful from Kathy. My favorite music from my adult holiday celebrations is Greensleeves, but the most memorable was my stepmom on piano and friend on organ playing while my dad showed off his beginning juggling skills. And maybe that wasn't while she was playing Greensleeves, but I think that's what I'm going to imagine in my head. I think that would be very hard to juggle too. Here's a wonderful one from Lana in North Liberty. She says, many years ago, before it was illegal to do so, my husband downloaded Christmas music for me that he burned onto a CD. He had me pick the songs that I liked from one of the music platforms. We laughed every time we played the CD because every second or third song was Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas by various artists. Apparently, I really like that song. I love that. Favorites too. That's so good. Becky from Mason City says, I loved Andy Williams as a teenager. His Christmas music was so special to my family. For 3 generations, it isn't Christmas without Andy crooning in the background. I'm sure a lot of families can relate to that. And she says, how about It's a Most Wonderful Time of the Year?
Oh, see, I'm the same way. So we'll listen to Andy in my head.
Yep. We have one more request left, but we're almost out of time, so I just want to say thank you to you, Dan. This has been such a joy.
I can't believe we're done.
I know, it goes so fast, but
yes.
such a joy to have you back in Iowa.
It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years since we did this live.
In person.
In person.
Right? We did it remotely for a while, but it's so wonderful to have you back and just to make a little magic together.
Well, it's so wonderful to be
It is
back.
wonderful. I do also want to mention again that Dan Knight will be playing at the Englert Theater, and I double-checked, Dan. It's on January 20th.
Is it?
It is.
I'm wrong. What?
So don't forget to come on the 20th, January 20th at the Englert Theater. All right, and we'll play out with this. Craig emailed to say, I loved playing the Vince Guaraldi piece at a college recital. Christmas Time is Here. It's one of my all-time favorites.